One of the greatest moments in anime history is when Sasuke abandons the village to join Orochimaru, a villain who's obsessed with immortality and forbidden powers. This singular event changes the course of the entire plot of the show, turning Sasuke dark and more ruthless while Naruto suffers from loneliness after losing his best friend. However, what if Sasuke never leaves the village? Would the two still remain good friends and grow together? Would Sasuke still be full of hate for Itachi? Or would Sasuke's traumatic fate still haunt him even in this alternate timeline? If Sasuke never leaves the village, the biggest change is that his emotional collapse never fully happens. In canon, Sasuke reaches his breaking point after Itachi returns to Konoha and effortlessly defeats him. It completely destroys Sasuke's confidence because he realizes that after years of training and dedicating his life to revenge, he still isn't even close to Itachi's level. At the same time, Naruto begins improving rapidly, learning techniques like the Rasengan and gaining recognition from stronger ninja. For the first time, Sasuke feels like he's falling behind not only his brother, but also Naruto. That insecurity is exactly what Orochimaru manipulates. In this timeline, Kakashi notices the warning signs much earlier. Instead of assuming Sasuke will calm down on his own, he informs Tsunade that Sasuke is becoming dangerously isolated and obsessed with power. Tsunade responds by quietly placing Anbu around him and intentionally assigning him to more missions with Naruto and Sakura. The goal is to rebuild the bond Sasuke's been trying to distance himself from, and to prevent him from spiraling down the dark pits he's so prone to drown in. Unlike everyone else, Naruto understands what it feels like to grow up alone and angry. The two still compete constantly, but their rivalry slowly becomes healthier. Sasuke begins realizing that Naruto's becoming stronger while still being around the people he loves and embracing his friendships. The idea starts eating away at Orochimaru's influence. Instead of believing power only comes from hatred and isolation, Sasuke begins wondering if real strength comes from having meaningful relationships and healthy friendships in his life. Next, let's talk about how Itachi's plan would be affected in this theoretical world. A lot of people misunderstand Itachi's role in the story. He was never trying to turn Sasuke into a monster. After being forced to massacre the Uchiha clan to prevent a civil war, Itachi dedicated the rest of his life to making sure Sasuke survived, even if it meant being hated by him forever. Itachi fully believed that by humiliating Sasuke and giving him generational trauma, it would prepare him for the reality of the shinobi world. But in this timeline, Sasuke doesn't isolate himself completely after his encounter with Itachi. Naruto stays close to him, keeps challenging him, and slowly pulls back toward the bonds he was trying to cut off. Itachi secretly watches Team 7 from afar during Akatsuki missions. He can sense that Sasuke is fundamentally changing in a way he could have never predicted. Sasuke is no longer driven by pure hatred. Instead of continuing to emotionally destroy Sasuke every time they meet, Itachi starts quietly protecting him, and finally starts playing the role of a big brother, albeit in secret. He begins delaying operations, feeding false information to Pain, and even sabotages missions targeting Konoha. He knows the organization would collapse if they discovered his betrayal, so everything has to be done carefully enough to avoid suspicion from Kisame and Obito. For the first time since the massacre, Itachi starts believing that Sasuke may become something greater than just an angry and emo teen bent on getting revenge. Sasuke was no longer a blindly loyal leaf shinobi, but someone capable of protecting the village while also understanding the corruption hidden inside it. In a way, Sasuke becomes the person Itachi himself wanted to be before the Uchiha massacre destroyed everything. One of the biggest ripple effects of this timeline is what happens to Orochimaru. In canon, Sasuke was the centerpiece of his long-term plan. Orochimaru's body-switching technique meant he constantly needed new vessels to survive, and after seeing Sasuke's Sharingan potential during the Chunin exams, he became obsessed with possessing his body. Almost everything Orochimaru did after invading Konoha revolved around brainwashing Sasuke into abandoning the village willingly. Since Sasuke never leaves his village, Orochimaru's entire plan collapses. His current body continues rejecting him, making him far too weak way earlier in the canon. He becomes desperate, rushing experiments and searching for replacement vessels that can never truly compare to the body of an Uchiha. Orochimaru steps out of the shadows and begins targeting Konoha more aggressively. He steals forbidden jutsu, tries to get his hands on Sharingan research, and even attempts to use remnants of Hashirama's cells to try to stabilize himself. The Sound Four still attempt to lure Sasuke away, but this time things go differently. Kakashi and Tsunade are already expecting Orochimaru to make a move, so Anbu intervenes early before they can escape the Land of Fire. The retrieval arc never happens, which changes the future of almost every genin involved. Neji never suffers the grave injuries that pushed him toward maturity. Choji never damages his body using the red soldier pills, and Kiba and Naruto never experience their first true failure as shinobi. Most importantly, Naruto doesn't experience the canon event of losing his best friend and carrying that guilt for years to come. In canon, that failure becomes one of Naruto's deepest emotional scars and fuels his obsession with saving Sasuke for the rest of the series. In this alternate timeline, since both Sasuke and Naruto grew up alongside each other, they both take up very different roles in the village. Naruto naturally becomes the public face of Konoha, inspiring people and connecting with other villages. Meanwhile, Kakashi realizes pretty early on that Sasuke is more suited for secret missions because of his intelligence and Sharingan abilities. So, he nurtures the darkness inside Sasuke, guiding it to become something useful, rather than letting it consume him like it did in canon. Through these secret missions, Sasuke also begins uncovering traces of Root, the secret organization led by Danzo that operates beneath the village's surface. Over time, Naruto becomes known as the loud, unpredictable hero of the Leaf, but Sasuke becomes something almost mythological. A legendary assassin who works from the shadows. Enemy shinobi start talking about an Uchiha operating in the shadows of Konoha, someone who dismantles criminal groups overnight just like their very own personal Batman. This creates a balance Konoha's never really had in canon. Naruto represents hope and unity, creating harmony amongst the villagers and developing connections all around the world, while Sasuke represents fear and intimidation, keeping enemies at bay and creating a line of defense for his village simply by existing. Long before the term officially exists, Sasuke essentially becomes the first true Shadow Hokage. One of the most important differences in this timeline is how and when Sasuke discovers the truth about the Uchiha massacre. In canon, he only learns it after killing Itachi when Obito manipulates him emotionally and reveals that the Hidden Leaf ordered the massacre to stop a possible Uchiha coup. By that point, Sasuke's already isolated and traumatized, so the truth completely destroys what little connection he still had to the village. In this reality, however, things unfold in a drastically different manner. Sasuke uncovers the truth in bits and pieces himself as he goes on top-secret missions tied to Anbu and Root activity. He notices sealed records connected to the mystery, missing reports from the night of the massacre, and suspicious clues that confirm Danzo's involvement. Eventually, during an emotional moment, Sasuke learns that Itachi acted under orders from Konoha's leadership. This revelation hits 10 times harder than canon, because the Sasuke in this world has spent way more time and effort trying to suppress the darkness in him and trying to stay loyal to his village. For a while, he genuinely considers abandoning everything and killing Danzo publicly. Unlike canon though, he doesn't have Obito whispering in his ear when he's emotionally broken and alone, so he manages to dig himself out of the pits of depression. Naruto plays a pivotal role in keeping Sasuke grounded, as he actually acknowledges that what happened to the Uchiha was wrong. For the first time, someone from the Leaf openly admits the system failed his family, which matters enormously to Sasuke. Sasuke starts believing that the village needs to be changed from within instead of being completely destroyed, as he makes an intentional effort to channel his anger into something productive rather than blind hatred. One of the biggest consequences of Sasuke staying in the village is that the Akatsuki loses control of the timeline completely. In canon, the organization benefits massively from Naruto and Sasuke being separated. Naruto spends a long time obsessing over bringing his friend back, while Sasuke totally isolates himself under Orochimaru. This gives the Akatsuki the opportunity to pick off Jinchuriki and move in the shadows, since the two greatest shinobi of the new generation are divided. In this timeline, however, Naruto and Sasuke continue growing side by side, constantly pushing each other to improve. Naruto becomes an incredible fighter much earlier because he's emotionally grounded, while Sasuke also dedicates more time to training without wasting years consumed by revenge. Together, they become a nightmare matchup for the Akatsuki far earlier than expected. Deidara encounters both Naruto and Sasuke during an Akatsuki operation involving the Nine Tails. Naruto unpredictably combined with Sasuke's Sharingan makes Deidara's fighting style far less effective, and the battle ends before he can escape or self-destruct. Similarly, Kakashi, Naruto, and Sasuke coordinating as a unit would overwhelm Hidan's ritual-based fighting style quickly, while Kakuzu's multiple hearts become easier to counter against two new-gen shinobi fighting perfectly in sync. The pain arc changes dramatically in this timeline because Sasuke is actually present in the village during the invasion, instead of hunting Itachi and drifting deeper into darkness. In canon, Naruto arrives after Konoha's already been destroyed, and when Hinata is seemingly killed in front of him, he completely loses control and nearly unleashes the full Nine Tails. Here, Sasuke is fighting beside him from the beginning. While Naruto battles pain directly, Sasuke helps defend the village against the summoned creatures and protects civilians alongside Kakashi and the remaining Jonin. The turning point comes when Naruto begins losing control of Kurama after pain pushes him emotionally too far. Sasuke realizes that if Naruto fully transforms, both Naruto and the village could be destroyed. In that moment, the fear of losing his best friend becomes overwhelming enough to awaken the Mangekyo Sharingan. This Mangekyo is born from protection rather than revenge. This version of Sasuke develops completely different abilities tied to restraint, defense, and chakra suppression. The Uchiha clan traditionally awakened power through loss and hatred, but Sasuke breaking that cycle would fundamentally alter what the Sharingan represents. Instead of becoming stronger by severing bonds, he becomes stronger by trying to protect them. That alone would make him completely different from every major Uchiha before him, including Madara. I hope you've enjoyed these crazy theories about a potential alternate reality where Sasuke never leaves the village. If you have any thoughts or theories of your own, make sure to comment below. If you'd like to watch similar videos, click the link on your screens.